All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're doing a video asking the question, why is Bleach so unfortunate? And of course, in making this video as the biggest Bleach fan in the world, I hesitate to make this video because in the back of my mind, I feel myself getting old, and I don't think that I personally am currently being served by what is on offer in terms of, Bleach content. It's been 5 years since No Brides from Hell. It's been 8 years since Burn the Witch. The manga ended 10 years ago, almost to the day. The anime is about to come out. It should be a week or two, maybe more from now. And of course, you remember my previous videos. I asked, why do they all have the same color? Like that. This is how the anime is going to look. Everything is shaded red. In the last season, everything was shaded pink. Why? Nobody has answered this question. Why? So last year I put out a video said I'm done with anime. And again, I think it's just a reflection of me getting older, me having more responsibilities, so I just don't have the time to sit down and watch anime. In fact, what prompted me to make this video is this game right here. There's a new game called Bleach Mirror's High. I have not watched it. I'm going to react to it. But as somebody who played and enjoyed Bleach Rebirth of Souls, I know, and I've broken it down many times on this channel, that Bleach Rebirth of Souls did not reach its maximum potential. I knew that before the game came out. Why? In a game like this, Bleach hit the Soul 7. You had 4v4, you had tag, you had special moves that only two characters can do together, like unique special moves. You had Nell and Ukura. If they're in the tag team, they have a special move that they can do together. Right? Ukura, Grimjo, Aizen, Gin, and many different things. So you had, it's not just a 1v1 where two people fight each other and that's the end of the game. It's a combination of different things. There are many different game modes, many different things. This is all you have in Bleach Rebirth of Souls. I knew the game wasn't going to thrive. And I spent all my previews asking that in today's day and age, you don't just make an arena fighter 1v1 and that's it. It's not enough. It's not enough content for us. The story mode was long, very nice. They added stuff there, which, you wouldn't get in the anime, in the manga. Yes, I like that. But that's story mode. And you'll be done with story mode. But in terms of a fighting game, which invariably a versus game is going to be, you need more variety. You saw how hyped I got for Marvel Token Fighting Souls. They went from 3v3 in Marvel's Capcom to 4v4 in Marvel Token. That's the point. If truly Bleach was a fortunate game, they would at least make it a versus fighter. Versus fighter means tag, means assist, means things like this. And even back then, before Rebirth of Souls, I said that the best anime game is still Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. What's the format? Yes, it's an arena fighter, but it has tag. It has unique supers with Akatsuki, with Team 7, whatever. These are the additions, these are the accoutrements that you get in a game that makes it memorable. So people like us who are starving for Bleach content, we will take what we can get. I was very grateful that the game was made. It's been between the last console game and Rebirth of Souls was 15 years. It was 15 years. And the last game was a single player Dynasty Warriors type adventure game. Nice in its own ways, but that's what it was. Bleach Soul Resurrection for the PS3. And then we don't get a new Bleach console game until the PS5 in 2025. 14 years, 15 maybe. Yeah, 15 years. So of course we took it. We're happy. We'll take it. Then you have Bleach Soul Resonance. I'll feature it in the outro for this video. Very, very excellent looking fight game. It's a mobile game. You know, Bleach has 1,000 mobile games. No problem. It's fine. But people like us, we want to eat. And honestly, Rebirth of Souls is not enough. Look at this. It's just this. It's just this. So it's not enough, I think. So that, amongst many other things, has led me to the conclusion that Bleach is unfortunate. So the question of this video is why? Why is Bleach unfortunate? Out of the big three so-called, because I don't consider it big three, I just think it's Big Me, Bleach above everything else. But, you know, for the purpose of conversation, I think that Bleach always got the shortest end of the stick. In terms of fillers, in terms of animation, in terms of studio, they just has been a failure to reach the maximum potential of Bleach. And I'm just wondering why. I'll give some examples, because this video it was scripted, but as you can tell, the last 5 minutes were completely off script. I was speaking directly from the heart. So let's now get back on script. So I asked a question: why is Bleach so unfortunate? Forget the last core. We never ever got the Bleach we wanted. Bleach has always been a very unfortunate anime. With the 1,000-year Blood War, we had a fight between Ichigo and Yhwach the first time, and there was no sound, and the animation was about 15 frames, and frankly could have been drawn significantly better. Season 1 was inconsistent, with the drawing and the shading from before the death of Yamamoto to the arrival of Squad Zero to Soul Society. I'll give you a small example. Look at this. Let's watch this. I hope this doesn't get copyright, but let's see how we can avoid that. So this is good, but as you can see here, this is more of the rain rather than Reiatsu. Where did the Reiatsu go? There was no Reiatsu in 1,000-year Blood War. Why? Why? I'll show you Reiatsu. I'll show you what Reiatsu means. That's rain, not Reiatsu. This is cool. I like this. We've never seen this before, but it's clear that the people who make 1,000-year Blood War are Dragon Ball fans. This is closer to Dragon Ball Z with the lightning, with the lightning effect for the Reiatsu. It's closer to Dragon Ball Z than it is to Bleach. They got Dragon Ball directors, they got Dragon Ball animators to do Bleach. That's the first problem. Yeah, this is Dragon Ball. Let's be honest, this is Dragon Ball. Yes, Bleach does have these Reiatsu effects, but it's usually more controlled. It's not so chaotic. And I'll show you what I mean by chaotic in the next few frames. Let's watch. Yeah, so the lightning, in Bleach, when you have elemental effects to Reiatsu, it has to do with the person who is emitting the Reiatsu. For example, if Toshiro is flexing his Reiatsu, everywhere will be cold because he's ice. Right? If it's Kenpachi, you feel like there's a sword on your throat because he's Kenpachi. If it's Byakuya, you feel just generally overwhelmed because of his generally overwhelming aura. But here you have lightning from Ichigo. Why? Because they don't understand the source material. They are Dragon Ball animators. So that's Dragon Ball all day. That there's no doubt about that. See that? The rush. Look at all this. It's chaotic. We're not even seeing anything. Nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. We're just seeing things. All right, watch. No sound. Are you hearing any sound? Are you hearing any? There is no sound. No sound. But you can see. So that's the fight, right? Let's not get copyright. But that's the fight. Hardly any sound. You can't see anything. And that's what I'm saying. These people had 10 years. And because, as I said, Bleach fans have been starved so much, We take what we can get. I find a lot of people coping. And I have much higher expectations of Bleach than anybody else. But as I said, the fact that we waited over 10 years since the end of the anime, we've waited, 8 years, 6 years from the end of the manga to get something as big as the Thousand Year Blood War. Everyone is willing and ready to defend. They are all influenced, and of course, the fans that I'm talking about, they're much younger than us. They are influenced by JJK, they're influenced by Dragon Ball Super, they're influenced by One Piece and other animes. So they're looking at Bleach through that lens. We, who were Bleach fans from the beginning, we who were Bleach manga readers from the beginning, we know the prime core ethos of Bleach, and this is not it. This is not it. So that is the problem. So the subsequent cores have had this horrible shading, as you saw, season 2, or this is actually season 4 coming out very soon. Look at how it looks. It's all red. This is Ichigo's ultimate form, and we don't even get to see its natural colors. We don't. It's just all red, all pink. I made a whole video about that, and I got hate for it. Fine, whatever. But it's the truth. And at my age, I'm not going to be shy to speak the fucking truth, because that's all I fucking have. Right? So, season 2 had the blue and red shading, while season 3 was all pink. And season 4 clearly is going to be red. Why? As I said, I've covered all that in my previous videos. In the spirit of the last core coming out, this will be my final Bleach video. Because as you know, and as I said last year, I'm done with anime. That's this. I said I'm done with anime. It's a 46-minute rant. Wow. I said a lot of things. Check the video. I'll try to link it in the description. It's when was it published? Yeah, it's published. Forget, it would have been 31st of December. So I just wanted to point out some things which reflect why Bleach is the most unfortunate anime ever. As I said, my main complaint about the Thousand Year Blood War has not been the idiotic shading of each season. Inconsistent season 1, red season 2, or was it blue? Yeah, then pink season 3, and clearly red season 4. Rather, it has been the editing, qualifying, and outright removal of certain parts of dialogue in the Thousand Year Blood War. I covered that on a different podcast, on my own channel, and everywhere else. But I'll go into much detail today. So much to go over, I won't list them all here. But Byakuya eulogized Chojuro for about 7 panels, and they cut it out in its entirety. This is what I'm talking about, right here. So this is where Chojuro gets killed by the Viden Reich, and they do a burial. A burial is ordered. This is the first time we see a Shinigami get a full military burial. If you remember, in the original season of Bleach, Yumichika calls Soul Society and asks them to make preparations for Ikkaku's burial, because he thought that Ikkaku was going to lose to Edward Leonis, Arrancar 13. Finally, in this season, we got a funeral, right? And we have here a eulogy by Kuchiki Byakuya. And I'm going to read it, because the fact that they refused to put this in the anime told us that they are going for something else, that they were looking for a new audience, a different audience from us. The people who stood by, who stood behind the manga, who stood behind Bleach, the people who didn't run off to Attack on Titan, who didn't run off to My Hero Academia, the people who stayed and kept the faith. They abandoned us by removing all these things and trying to streamline it for an audience which doesn't really know exactly what it means to be a captain or a vice captain for over 2,000 years. So here we go. We got his full name. Sasakibe Tadaoki Chojuro was a Soul Reaper who should have been a captain, a Shinigami who should have been a captain. That's Byakuya talking. According to the records, he achieved Bankai before Kyoraku Shunshi and Ukitake Jushiro were even born. However, not once did he display that ability in public since the Gote 13 was founded. Captains are not always men of integrity. Despite hearing of his abilities, some would insult him as a vice captain who doesn't take part in battle and treated him like just any other seated officer. However, even faced with that kind of treatment, Sasaki Chojuro never crossed his position as a vice captain, and whenever captains were being replaced, no matter how many times there was a vacancy, he adamantly refused the position of an interim captain, but even the position of being entrusted with the authority of a captain, which Kira and Hisagi held until recently. All this because of his fierce loyalty. Sasaki Chojuro was a man who swore to remain a vice captain for as long as Yamamoto was alive. This man used Bankai for the first time in battle and died. This head captain's grief is beyond the imagination of us neophytes. So you can see that we have 1 page, 2 page, 3 pages. I said 7 panels. No, it was 3 pages. And Kubo, somebody who, yes, he gets a little bit, whimsical with his pagination and with his panels. He spent 3 pages talking about this guy. 3 pages. And they removed all of it. They removed everything. Why? What is the reason for that? We've had 10 years to plan this show, and you take out 3 pages from the manga. Why? What is the reason behind that? And of course, the coppers say, oh no, it's for pacing reasons. Exactly. It's for pacing reason to placate, to cater to the TikTok generation, to cater to the whoever they are, the Baki, Kengan, Ashura, whatever people are watching these days, is to cater to them, not us, who read these words, who felt these words and wanted to see these words being said by somebody who is talented in voice acting, wanted to hear the words audibly. We heard these words, we read these words in our heart, wanted to hear them in our ears, and they took that from us. Why? Because Bleach is unfortunate. So, since I already covered my grab with 1,000 Year Blood War omissions in my previous videos, my conclusion that Bleach is an unfortunate anime is premised upon the prior qualification and deletions from the source material, which never made it into the anime. People who read the manga will know the differences. Of course, with censorship, but there are far more things, even in combat, that got removed and had specific impact. The easiest example is Komamura, Tosen, and Kenpachi. The anime does well in establishing the reiatsu of the characters, but the most important thing was the sound. Watch this. So, this is the fight between Komamura and Kenpachi. Let's watch.
And still you brag. I think the time has come to put an end to your...
Do you see that? Do you see that? Do you see that? Do you see that? That's what I'm talking about. Do you see the difference? Watch this.
Put an end to your...
You hear that sound. You can hear things happening, and you can see the reaction. Of course.
Arrogance.
All right, so that's what happens.
Here I come.
Right? So that's what happens there. Now, I will show you what actually happened. And you can see me speaking ill of the 1,000 Year Blood War, saying that the directors are Dragon Ball fans and things like this. But even this scene, which I love so much, probably one of the most memorable scenes in Bleach, was qualified. Look. So this is exactly what happened, right? Stop talking big. That's what makes me think you're overestimating yourself, Kenpachi. He draws his sword. Look at the position of the sword. And then Kenpachi says, you broke the ground with just the reiatsu of your Zanpakuto. Not bad. For me, the fact that this was omitted probably tainted this character forever. Because Kenpachi is somebody whom we respect in terms of reiatsu, combat ability, and he still took the time to make a comment, to acknowledge the reiatsu of Komamura in this situation. And they took it out of the anime. Why? Why? Because Bleach is unfortunate. And this is so-called, this is prime Bleach. This is prime Bleach.
I think the time has come to put an end to your arrogance. Here I come.
Now, watch exactly what happens. So, are you ready? Look at that. Look at the difference. This is what Kenpachi ate. This is what Kenpachi took. This is the attack he took. All right? So, there's that. Okay, so for me, that's always been the case. Right? So, of course, I already talked about the Reatsu effect and the fact that the 1,000-Year Blood War does away with Reatsu altogether. For example, in season 1, that's in the beginning of the 1,000-Year Blood War, Inoue and the rest of the people noticed that there was no shockwave of Reatsu coming from the Quincy during Volstandic. That was during Kyoge's Volstandic. But then in season 3, we had Ichigo and Yhwach fighting like Goku and Vegeta, right? With the blue and yellow colors. It's a Dragon Ball. It's Dragon Ball. What we're watching isn't Bleach, but some Dragon Ball Z director's fanfiction of what he thinks Bleach is. It's a shame we never got the Bleach we wanted. Not the anime, not the games, other than Soul Carnival and Hit the Soul. And this is Soul Carnival, right?
Hi, this multiplayer Bleach Soul Carnival.
This is still probably one of the best Bleach games out there. And it will shock many of you. Let me see if there's some action here. Yes, it looks like Brave Souls, but trust me, the game is legit. It's legit, trust me. So, the problem is that we never got a Soul Carnival 3 that adds this very, very deep single player and gives us a robust multiplayer, right? Hit the Soul does have an alright single player and a very good multiplayer. So this is Shuren from the movie, from the Hell movie. So why isn't he playable in Rebirth of Souls? Why? 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 What stops? So look at this. This game is 15, 16 years old. Why? Why don't we have this? This is Aroniro. Then this is the opening for Hit the Soul 6. Yeah, remember this opening? Let's not get copyrights, but yeah. That was awesome. That was fucking awesome. Shinji showing up. That was fucking cool. So, do you see that? This is additional content, it's additional animation, and this is for a PSP game from 18 years ago. Hit the Soul 6 would have been 2009, 10. And these games, they came out each year. 7 games in the Hit the Soul series. 2 Soul Carnival games. And that's the point I'm making. That Rebirth of Souls, let's call Rebirth of Souls a sequel to Soul Ignition, Soul Resurrection. Soul Resurrection is 2011, 2010. Rebirth of Souls is 2025. And it got 1 season of 4 characters. And we've not heard from it since. It's been over a year since the game came out, but we've not gotten new DLC. The last DLC came out in December. We're in July. So, I mean, people equate it with blasphemous statements that I'm not going to repeat, but I just call it being unfortunate. And it's a crying shame because, I mean, as I started this video, we have Burn the Witch, which when was Burn the Witch released? Burn the Witch was released in 2018. It's been 8 years. The 4-chapter first season. So mangas now are taking the form of seasons. What does that mean, seasons? Anyway, September 2020. It's been 6 years. And it got a movie, which was good, which was also October 2020, which we're happy with. But then, what did they say? They said that it was supposed to have a second season. Here we go. A second season was announced with the release of the season's final chapter. That was 6 years ago. And we have not been told whether it's cancelled or not. All we had was a collaboration with Bleach Brave Souls, which is fine. We have the crossover with Immortal Soul. I've never even heard of this game before, but it's fine. I know it's mobile, no problem. So, it's strange. Then you have No Breath from Hell. No Breath from Hell 20th Anniversary Special Manga Review. It came out August 2021. It's been 5 years. 5 years. Where's the next one? Has it been picked up for a new series? Is it a limited run series? Is it just 50 chapters? I would not mind if No Breath from Hell is a 50 chapter, 100 chapter manga. Just give me 100 chapters once a week for the next 2 years. I will read it. I will read that. But the idea that we're going to get the final season of 1,000-Year Blood War and it's all of it is pink and red, and I'm not feeling the excitement or the hype. I'm not feeling it because it's one color. Why is it all red though? It's one color. This is the shot. This is the final Ichigo, and it's all red. Why? Because Bleach is unfortunate. Or maybe this is the actual problem. Maybe I'm just old. With that being said, leave a like, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. But wait! Finally, one last thing before I go. Let's look at the new Bleach game called Mirror's High. Let's see if it works. Let's go. So, Soul Reaper's trailer. Second trailer. Okay, I'm going to react to the first trailer as well. Alright, let's go. One thing that Bleach never disappoints with is music. They just never miss with the music. Mirrors High. They don't even have the first trailer here. It's not here. Wow, they look nice. They look nice. What's this? This looks like a Kuchiki type thing. I like them.
Way to the 1,000-Year Blood War. Your story as a Soul Reaper begins.
Shirin Migishima, okay. Sanari Shirane, okay. The game looks good though. For a mobile game, it looks very good. And yes, one more thing. Changing the Getsuga Tensho from blue to yellow. I think it's a significant downgrade. I don't care. Blue Getsuga was always better.
Carve the future, Soul Reaper.
So we don't get much of an insight. It's a new mobile game, Bleach Mirrors High. It's from Bandai Namco. So you can see Bandai Namco is able to greenlight and publish a new mobile game, but refuse to expand Bleach Rebirth of Souls. That is, by expand, I mean expand the scope of the game, not necessarily expand the content. Expand the scope in that it's not just a 1v1, but they're willing to do a mobile game. I guess mobile games are more monetized. Maybe that's the issue. But let's see the original trailer. Let's see if we have more of a context, because it looks similar to Soul Resonance, which I like, but it's just difficult to find time to play the game. I have it, but you know, this is second trailer. Where's the first trailer? So this is the reveal. Okay.
This is the type of faceless animated
It's the second trailer again. Where's the real trailer? It's turn-based. Oh, Jesus. Jesus. It's a turn-based card game. Oh, help me. Help me. Oh, Lord, help me.
Bleach.
It's a turn-based card game. I guess Aroniro likes it. I want to see the first trailer, though. Where's the first trailer? Okay, so we have the Calamity final trailer. Let's check it out. I think July 25th. That's far. Wow, this is just dropping. Let's watch this instead.
それがどうしたってんだよ。
今俺に分かってるのはお前を倒さない限り
Like I said, it's all red, but I'm going to stop crying about that. It is what it is. At least we're getting it. Let's watch. But it's all red.
俺は何も守れねえってことだユーハバハ
What is that called?
よく来た待ちわびたぞ我が闇の声を
頼むぞ、井上。
やっと黒崎くんを守って戦える。
誰も見たことのないものを作るなら自分の手で。それが科学者ってもんす。挽回。
ケンちゃん何にも
What? Rara's Bankai. Let's
それが科学者ってもんす。挽回。
Who is this? Okay, yeah, that's Canon Biraki. Alright.
ケンちゃん
Kenpachi. So you see, it's the shading. The shading is weird. Oh god, I can't stop crying about the shading, can I? I'm so sorry.
知らないんだからその力の
Wait, is that Byakuya?
ケンちゃん何にも知らないんだからその
Look! Because of the shading, I thought it was a new character, but it's Byakuya, thank god.
力の名前はね
氷の花が散り尽くしたら終わりだなって言った覚えは氷の花が散り尽くしたら終わりだなって言った覚えはね
さあ戦おうかイチゴここからが絶望だ
Ooh! You grab us well too! Yes! I'm hyped. Fuck. That was Ika Senjinka.
未来
This I've always found this to be weird, but whatever. There's no problem.
見えるだけで戦いに勝てるわけじゃないお前に宿る全知全能をお前ごと葬ってやる
何も捨てるつもりはないということだならばせめて命を捨てろ石田ウリュウようこそ私のソウルソサイティ
あんたの力を使わせてもらった
だがそれでもなお私には届かぬ魂ごと消え失せな
未来を避け名前を呼べ
どうするつもりだ
決まってんだろあいつを追うんだよ
これが僕の生き残った理由だ俺は山ほどの人を守りたいそれが世界を切るってことになるならそれでいい行くぜ
ガスがもうすぐだ世界のすべては無に帰る
Okay.
それが
So yeah, I'm hyped. That was cool. So I guess maybe I can wipe away my tears. This trailer has got me back. I guess proper timing though, because it's been under an hour since it released. So yeah. I'm humbled, thankful, grateful. but it does feel like the end. It does feel like the end. As I said, no breath from hell. It's been 5 years. Burn the Witch. It's been 8 years, and we've not seen anything. So this is the last of it for sure. This is the last of it. We'll be there. I will be there, and I it does feel like the end. It does feel like the end of an era. I feel like part of me is going away somewhere, like where Okira gets hit with a zero, and he's reaching out to Inoue, looking for what the heart is. It does feel that way to me right now. Bleach has been such a significant part of my life since 2006. So it's been 20 years. I've known Bleach longer than my profession. I've known Bleach longer than my children. I've known Bleach longer than my wife. So the fact that it looks like and it feels like it's coming to an end, I'm really just coming to terms with it right now as I'm speaking. And I mean, if I had the capacity, tears would leave my eyes, but I have no tears because I'm a man. But it does feel that way. Yeah. Final trailer, 1,000-Year Blood War. Yeah, my heart does feel heavy. As critical as I've been of the series so far, it really does feel like the end. July 25th, I will watch until the end. And I'll see if I have the heart, the courage to come back here and give you my honest thoughts. Because it feels more like I've been complaining about what I didn't like rather than talking about what I did like. And I think maybe that just comes with being bitter. That comes with being old. Talking about how things used to be. So I will wait, I will watch, and I'll see if I have the courage to return to you guys to give you my full, unvarnished thoughts. Thank you guys so much for your support. It's been astonishing. Each and every one of you, my subscribers, my viewers, people who like my videos, people who share, you guys have been amazing. It's been a fantastic journey. And I'll keep on, of course, you continue to see content on my channel. But this is a profound moment for me, personally. As I said, the culmination of over 20 years of my knowledge, enjoyments, and interaction with Bleach. And this is it. This is the moment where it could all be gone forever. So I want to thank you guys once more. Comment below. I'll see you on the other side. Out.
After centuries of sleep, of nothingness, I have returned. Something comes back to me. I was great once. Feared. Yes, so weak now. Must find blood. Once I was strong. Powerful beyond measure, beyond imagining.
been here before. We watch your petty world slumbering. You cannot defy the core of the mass steel. You can only surrender.
I saw a longship made of the claws of dead men. The raids drove everyone to the shore. My daughter too. No man who meets the hunt returns to this world.
I returned.